welcome back to my episode reviews of my favorite Transformers cartoon ever, Beast Wars. In today's review, we're taking a look at the episode Deep Metal. In this episode, we are introduced to Depth Charge, Rampage's arch nemesis. We begin this episode with the Maximals in their new base for the rest of the series, Mount St. Hilary, the volcano where the G1 Autobot Ark is located. Having salvaged what they could from the destroyed Axelon, we see our heroes in their fortified new home. Seriously, that is some impressive square footage. I wonder what the market value of this place is. True, it could use some work, but this would be a great property to buy and flip. There's lots of potential here. Put down some hardwood flooring, upgrade the bathroom and kitchen. Plus, it's all in how you stage it. I think a potted plant would really help liven up the place. But then again, the market is kind of cold right now. We're in the middle of a recession, and it's not in the best neighborhood. I mean, a lot of the early humans in the area are unemployed and just living in caves. Although there is a school nearby, perfect for a single mother and her baby shark. Speaking of fish, we then see Depth Charge in space piloting his Starhopper. By the way, the Maximal writing on his console doesn't seem to have any meaning, just random letters and numbers. In this short scene, we learn that Depth Charge is a bit of a rogue and is on the hunt for Protoform X, now known as Rampage. But he is quickly pulled through a trans-warped space-time portal thingy. Oh, so that's where that ended up. I was wondering what happened to that. Oh, don't worry. I'll explain if or when I ever do some official Ultra Primal comics about myself. Meanwhile, the Predacons prepare to attack the Maximal's new base, but Rampage abandons the mission when he senses Depth Charge's approach. I only mention this scene just because of this shot where Inferno looks really small. You know, kind of like an ant, which is fitting for him. Depth Charge ends up crashing into a bay spotted by Cheetor, which is also fitting for him because he's a cheetah, and cheetahs have spots. Apparently Depth Charge's Starhopper can also function like a stasis pod in that it assists in the scanning and adoption of a new form. Unlike a stasis pod, Depth Charge emerges in his robot mode first, but he does use the transformation code Maximize to transform, but into his beast mode, not his robot mode, like we've seen most Transformers do after being birthed from a stasis pod. Does this mean that Depth Charge's robot mode and beast mode are swapped? More likely they just wanted it to seem cool when Depth Charge transforms for the first time, even though he turns into a fish. Depth Charge demonstrates his shark drone, which wasn't described as one in the toy's box art or instructions, although his bio does mention it as being a drone. But some of Depth Charge's bio seems to differ slightly from how he's depicted in the cartoon. I do really like the idea of Depth Charge having a little drone friend. It kind of reminds me of Soundwave, but, you know, a good guy version. I mean, they're both blue, and they both shoot stuff out of their titties. Depth Charge saves Cheetor from drowning. Wait, can Maximals and Predacons drown? They don't need to breathe, do they? It's hard to know with partially organic bots. By the way, is it just me or do Cheetor's jets look like the back end of a hairdryer? Also, this is the first time we see Depth Charge in his third form, his transportation mode as it's described in his instructions, or his space cruiser mode as it's called in his bio, which is pretty appropriate considering that it looks like his own Starhopper ship.
Computer, where is he? Vector 0, 0, 0. There's nothing there but rocks.
Wow, I don't know what's worse. Depth Charge's eyesight or Rampage's disguise. Yep, nothing suspicious about a giant metal crab with a bunch of rocks on top of him. I like how Rampage corrects Depth Charge when he dead names him.
X. I'm called Rampage now. A bit obvious, but to the point, don't you think?
Now I've seen everything.
Really, Cheetor? A flying manta ray with a crab on its back is what finally tipped the scales for you? Not, the arc? Just wait until the season finale then. Rampage tries to pull a skyquake on depth charge. Luckily, depth charge is a lot tougher than skyquake and isn't killed off in the same episode that he first appears in. So the two fight for a bit, making sure to show off some of the new toys gimmicks, and overall just making depth charge look really cool, which is certainly helped by his sexy voice, provided by David Sobolov.
It's not revenge I'm looking for. It's justice.
Who would later go on to voice Shockwave in Transformers Prime.
Your elbow articulator is digging into my lateral flexor.
Do you intend to whine for the duration of the voyage?
And most recently, Blitzwing in the Bumblebee movie.
Tell me where your friends are hiding.
I'll never talk.
Is that right? Then let's make it official.
When Optimus saves Depth Charge from Quick Strike, we see Cheetor standing on top of his canopy. Wow, Cheetor is really good at balancing because he is standing perfectly still. Either that, or the mainframe animators just affixed Cheetor's model to Optimus's. As Depth Charge is being repaired, Optimus gives us his backstory and history with Rampage.
Depth Charge was in charge of security for Colony Omicron. Protoform X escaped there and leveled the colony.
Please, Optimus, try to refer to Rampage by his new name and stop dead naming him. So the Maximals exposit the Depth Charge and catch him up on what's been going on.
I've got to hand it to you, Primal. When you screw up, you do it big time.
Depth Charge departs, and we end this episode with Rampage blowing up his Starhopper. Well, this was a pretty good episode of Beast Wars. As far as introducing us to a brand new character, I'd have to say that this one was one of the best. Depth Charge is really cool. Again, in big thanks to David Sobolov's incredible voice. Seriously, he is up there with Keith David and Steve Bloom for sexiest voice. Not to mention that, despite, being a fish, Depth Charge from a design point is pretty cool. I've already compared him to Soundwave, but he's also got the Seeker-style angel wings too. And a sword. Every character is cooler with a sword. Depth Charge would appear off and on throughout this season, always prioritizing his hunt for Rampage over the greater goals of the Maximals. But we'll get to those episodes in due time. For now, what about you? What did you think of this episode of Beast Wars? Let me know down in the comments. Remember to like, subscribe, and do all that other fun stuff. And I'll see you here next time for the next episode, Changing of the Guard. So I'll see you back here next time for that.